Hey guys, I'm Dr. Schwarzburg. Welcome to Skin Aesthetics on the Upper East Side in Manhattan. And I'm here today to talk to you about PrimeFill. PrimeFill is the new revolutionary procedure for non-surgical penile enhancement that I recently introduced, and I wanted to talk to you about it, all the benefits and all the things associated with this great procedure. And the results have been absolutely amazing. They totally exceeded my expectations as far as with the safety, aftercare, and outcomes. Let's talk about pain. Most of you most likely think that this is an extremely painful procedure. Well, guess what? It is actually not. Contrary again to popular beliefs, this procedure involves minimal to virtually no pain. Why? Because the skin is numbed with a very strong topical anesthetic, and that is then followed by a local lidocaine injection, which totally eliminates all the pain. So what you guys will feel during the procedure is minimal pressure, and that is it. So minimal pressure, no pain, no discomfort, no nothing. 30 to 40 minutes, you're done and you're good to go. All right, guys, I know that absolutely cannot do it without an actual model, an anatomical model of the penis and all the structures that are involved in this process. So let's briefly, we're not going to go into deep anatomy here, but I want you to understand the process. So essentially, we have the glands of the penis, and then we have the shaft. I can inject both the glands and the shaft. Some doctors only inject the shaft. I inject both. So let's just see where everything goes, where the actual filler goes. So I'm going to take it apart so you can look at it in cross section. So obviously the top is the skin right here. Right under the skin, we have two facial layers, which are not very visible here. The facial layers are called dartos fascia and box fascia. We are not injecting into those facial layers. We're injecting right under the skin, okay? So this spongy tissue is called corporum cavernosum, and this white tissue right here is called corpus spongiosum, okay? So corpus cavernosum, there's two on each side, and then there's a single corpus spongiosum. All right, guys, so I know you have a lot of questions, a lot of things on your mind. So let's break them down. So number one, is it really effective? Can all the promises that I'm going to give you, can they all be kept? Yes, the procedure is absolutely effective. You can increase your girth anywhere from 20 to 50% in just one session. You can add more, you can build more. It's totally doable. There are really no contraindications. They're totally reversible. The procedure is done with dermal hyaluronic acid-based fillers that allows me to both reverse the fillers if necessary, but at the same time makes this procedure temporary. While it is long-lasting, it is still temporary. So if for whatever reason you do not like it or you don't think that it suits you, you can be rest assured that over time the enhancement will dissipate. All right, guys, so another common question that a lot of people ask is the duration of the results. This is a non-permanent procedure. However, the results are pretty long-lasting. Some patients report up to 2 years without any touch-ups. However, the majority of patients get their first touch-up within 6 to 12 months. So within 6 to 12 months, some of the results tend to diminish. However, most patients, after getting the first procedure, they essentially get hooked up to this procedure, to the results, to the outcomes, to the sensations, and it takes 18 to 24 months before they get their second touch-up. But you should expect that your first touch-up within 9 to 12 months post the first injection. Now, let's talk about safety. Obviously, safety is absolutely number one concern with a procedure, with a non-surgical procedure that involves something as sensitive as your family jewels. And the procedure is done with FDA-approved dermal fillers that are placed strategically under the skin into the penile tissue. Anytime, any procedure, everybody wants to know, well, how soon do I see the results? Well, let's talk about the results. So the results are absolutely immediate. Minus some swelling and bruising, you will be able to see the results right away. So there's no wait time. The way that hyaluronic acid fillers function is when they are injected under the skin, they immediately expand in the tissues and produce that volume that we're looking to get, okay? So what it means is that immediately after the procedure, the hyaluronic acid filler expands under the skin, giving you immediate increase in volume, which in our case means immediate increase in girth and width. So The results are immediate. So the swelling that is associated with the injection will go down about 20% within 7 to 8 days. But essentially what you see is what you get, and that is something that is long lasting, and you should expect for the results to last anywhere from 1 to 2 years. With dermal fillers, why is this a revolutionary procedure? It allows us to non-surgically enhance the penis with minimal downtime, minimal aftercare, minimal side effects, while at the same time providing you absolutely efficacious outcomes. Let's talk about functionality now. Research and clinical studies have shown that the girth of the penis is the primary factor that affects the sensitivity and satisfaction in both partners. So that is one of the most critical aspects of this procedure that you guys do need to know. And my patients have repeatedly told me time and time again that both themselves and their partners, they do experience increased and heightened sensitivity and satisfaction during their intimate encounters. That is something that is almost impossible to achieve with any other non-surgical procedure. And I would actually say it is totally impossible to achieve with any of the surgical procedures or non-surgical procedures. So no pumps, no surgeries can give you that effect that these dermal hyaluronic acid-based fillers can give you literally within a 30 to 40 minutes procedure. All right, guys, so why is girth so important? Clinical studies and research have shown that the girth is the most critical factor. Clinical studies have conclusively demonstrated that increased girth compared to increased length plays a more important role in sexual satisfaction. Think about it. When you have more surface area, which is exactly what happens with increased girth, you will have more nervous endings activated during sexual intercourse, and that in turn will lead to increased and heightened sensations. Okay, so the vaginal canal in women contains numerous nerve endings. The research demonstrated that they respond better to increased pressure and stretch. And this is exactly what we achieve with penile fillers. We're increasing the girth, and in turn, all those nerve endings will respond better to stretch and pressure. More of the stimulation will happen as the outcome. All right, guys, so let's talk about aftercare and downtime. Contrary to what you may think and contrary to many myths, there is minimal downtime and minimal aftercare. And when I say minimal, it is really minimal. There is actually no downtime. You can resume your activities immediately. However, there are a few minor restrictions, and the main two restrictions that you must follow and that you must adhere to is staying away from sexual activity and heavy exercise for 7 days. That is it. Think about it. 2 things, 7 days. Besides that, you're totally good to go back into your normal routine without any limitation. So this is absolutely amazing, and that is something that I want to stress. All right, guys, so why penile fillers? There are seemingly numerous options on the market, from creams to pills, powders, pumps, and most likely many other options that I don't even know about. But let's face it, if you've ever tried any of that, most likely you've seen 0 results, and that is exactly the case. All those gimmicky devices, pumps, pills, creams, if anything, they give you temporary from hours to a few days, increase sometimes in girth, sometimes in length, but they're very, very short lasting. They do not produce measurable outcomes. They do not produce long lasting outcomes, are a waste of time and money. Sometimes they can be dangerous to your health, and that is something that you have to keep in mind, and I encourage you to avoid that at all costs. Compared to all of those unproven options, penile fillers have full clinical research behind them. They are safe, effective, immediate, long-lasting, and they give you exactly the results you're looking for. So why is this procedure so revolutionary? Think about it. With literally a few injections, with a few targeted injections, we can increase the girth or width of the penis anywhere from 20 to 50%. Also, super important, because of the weight of the filler that is placed into the penis, it allows you also to increase your flaccid length. That is something that most other procedures cannot accomplish. However, it is totally possible, and is actually something that does happen all the time in men that undergo this procedure. So one more time, not only you get increase in girth, which is super important, but also there's an increase in flaccid length. There is no change to the erectile length. However, patients who choose to get their head of the penis, also known as glands of penis injected, they do get a little bit of erectile length increase. All right, guys, so let's wrap it up. Penile fillers are the most effective and safest way to increase the size and girth of the penis. It is extremely important to go to a qualified and experienced medical professional who fully understands the anatomy, who fully understands the function of this very specific organ to achieve the best results possible. All right, guys, so after this overview, I covered a lot of things, but if you still have any questions, do not hesitate to get in touch with us and schedule a consultation to get started.